the experience today allowed me to sort of move from within and kind of listen to where my body was taking me. Because there's a moment where I think we're all told to close our eyes and like imagine where like our eyes were going within. So it kind of felt like this like individualized thing, and then kind of extending that to like your limbs and kind of moving around the room in that way.
Connecting to myself is connecting first to my inner state, whatever that state might be, and connecting in a non-judgmental way, so accepting what type of connection is happening in my own body. I would say it's a connection to my inner self. Maybe I think a lot of it is emotional, connecting to my emotional states, which might be influenced my dance later.
I feel my body is alive. I feel every part of my body is sensing what's around me, and I feel sometimes it triggers some sort of emotions, and sometimes I allow the emotions to carry on and take me to wherever it needs to. And sometimes it's just a passing emotions.
Sometimes you can get stuck in images. And I love it when they just feel free to come in and enjoy it. And when they're ready to go, they can go and something else will come.
Then there were moments where you just had people really staying away, moving away from each other. I think of one of the guys who constantly seemed to be moving away from the main action. So this is where dance doesn't always connect. So there is this feeling that how I move can just be for me as well.
I think with having my eyes closed, there was more self-connection. Yonnie kept reminding us to ground our feet, go down with the feet, and up with our hands or up with our energy. That was a very self-connecting move for me.
Towards the end, I don't know what I was supposed to be doing, but I was dancing with my 4-month-old grandson and just kind of letting him free.
You were reacting to things rather than maybe thinking about it.
There were people who were trying to reach more to the other people through the exercise, and there were people who were like completely losing themselves. It's like they wanted to go in different state of being.
It's an attempt, not always successfully, to come out of my head and to get back into the feeling of kind of being in my bones, in my body, to let kind of more of external stuff drift away so that I can come into a sense of here and now and really feeling joyful in movement.
It takes me away from my head, so it's pretty much the body is doing the talking rather than my head or mouth. It's freeing.
I saw that there was a boy and a girl, and I kind of sensed how she kind of tried to dance with the boy, like she tried to catch him in a particular way, but he was like so much in the spontaneous subconscious motion that he actually didn't respond to this, but he made some other move. He didn't left her, like he still continued to move with her, but he did it in a way where he didn't follow her intention. You can really see the difference in a moment like that between a person who is trying to release themselves and to be in the flow, but it's really hard for them because part of their conscious, it's because we care a lot about what people think. And even if this is exercise when you completely have to let go, the idea that you have to let go and there is a camera documenting you letting go, it's quite pressured for some people who are not used to this. And then in front of her you have the person who is like completely, like he would do this even if there wasn't any camera or anything. me think.
Any dance that I've done, not that I've done much, but it's been kind of a choreographed thing, so you kind of follow the steps and then go from there. But it was nice to be able to kind of lead from yourself.
When I'm playing, I'm not sure there's a huge correlation between what I see and what I feel. My method of playing is really based around shutting off the conscious part of my brain, the critical thinking part, the technical thinking part. A lot of times I'll just be staring blankly, sort of at nothing, which actually really helps with the dancers, because when I'm playing for actual dancers, you don't get hooked in so much to their very specific movements. It's more you get hooked into the feeling they're creating.
I really kind of just wanted to get up and move as well and just enjoy my own movement.
I was thinking about how it must have been to be there instead of watching the film when there was like laughter and dancing, wild dancing.
I could have easily got up and sort of joined in, but not being there, as it were. So I nearly could have got up here and joined in, which would be quite natural for me to do.
I want to be like, oh, let's do contact improv, like right now, like let's do it. I was convinced. I was like, oh, I miss this. I want to go dance with people.
It's about my relationship with my body and my breaths, and not telling the body what to do. We always tell the body what to do all the time. And also sometimes we ignore our body. We don't even remember we got toes. Sometimes we don't remember we got feet. And a lot of the times it's all in the head. So this is a really good way for me to get out of my head, get into my body, and just allow the body to flow, to go where it wants to go.
I come to more of a stillness within myself. I drop back down into my body, especially if it's been a full week.
When I'm dancing, I just feel I've got access to a whole range of other me's, like an 8-year-old girl who's climbing the tree and know I'm going to get to the top. Or a young mum looking at this baby in my arms thinking, well, this is brilliant. I'm just filled with love, but I don't know what I'm doing. And I can move in and out of all the me's. That's why I love it.
It's very often the feeling of just being. It's almost like the time kind of becomes irrelevant, or the space really just becomes, or I become part of that space much more than when I don't dance. It's like accessing some sort of, I don't know, ecstasy sometimes.